Hello again. So today we're going to be doing a replay cast of a game I played today in the Moskva, where I hope to demonstrate some of the open water Moskva playstyle that I've been trying to promote recently in my clan. So a lot of the stereotype of the Moskva is that she's a bit of an island hugger because of her weak flanks, but really when you play her solely in that role, you're missing out on the part that she's a heavily armored 50mm plating heavy cruiser. So you're losing out on the chance to play her open water. So here you're going to see me on the map Mountain Range, playing in the Moskva here. I'm spawning below the sea cap, and so my goal here is going to be to hold B and C in the open water in the H7-ish, H6-ish coordinates. And you're going to see me hover around here in open water for the entirety of the game. So in terms of matchmaking, it's random, so I'm taking my defensive fire. There's one tier 8 Saipan, and there's a pair of Stalingrads, one of which is paired with a Moskva and a division, and otherwise not too many other threats. There's a Shimakaze and a Grozavoy in terms of DDs. So yeah, nothing too threatening in terms of matchmaking. No, the only real third BB threat is... There isn't really a real BB threat, but if I was to pick one, it'd probably be Repub, because of the fast shells and 431's overmatching 30mm plate, although that's not too relevant. All of these battleships here can overmatch my 25mm external plating. So anyway, yeah, as I was saying at the beginning of the match, I'm moving over to support BC. So my goal here is to get my radar into range to cover B. So what you're going to see me do is approach towards BC in cover. See how I'm using the island right here on the map to cover my approach. And as I'm about to pull into range, see how my detection range is only kind of halfway into B, and my radar's not even halfway extended in. I'm going to make my turn now. So I know it's being contested, but I have an allied Moskva over here who can be the first to radar. So it's not critical here that I radar, so I'm briefly detected here. So now that I'm briefly detected, I need to be watching this side. So as I'm detected, I immediately start angling, because the BBs here can be firing onto my broadside that's exposed. So I need to start angling. There's a Moskva here, but nothing else spotted. So my ally radars, my guns are already pointed there, because using my detection bubble, I knew he was in the top corner. That's why I pinged it earlier. I fire off my first salvo. My first salvo is, of course, AP in this case. Firing the shots, yep, taking my shots here. Even as I'm slowing down now, I'm kind of full reverse. So where am I angled to in this position? I'm angled to any BBs in these rows and these rows. If anyone is here, that's what I'm showing broadside to. So that's an FDG. He's too far away, over 26 kilometers, so not a threat. What's my next immediate threat? This Stalingrad pushing up over here. Why? Because he's on my side. Like from this, the way I'm angled now, I'm angled against all the guys back here, anyone who could be here, but not against this guy. So who's back there? Yamato, Izumo, Stalingrad. But I have this piece of cover here, and they're not really that pushed up. So I'm adjusting my angle. I'm looking at them right now to check and see if anything's going on after dispatching the DD along with the help of the other Moskva. But I'm looking over there to angle properly because I'm adjusting my angle, see? Because as the Stalingrad pushes up, I need to make sure my angles aren't showing side to the sorry, go back to my free cam, aren't showing side to that Stalingrad pushing now. Go back to my cam. I'm shifting around, yep, looking at the Stalingrad because he's showing me side. Also watching the Saipan. So here I might shift my A sectors if you're not sure. But he's not too close to me, he appears to be attacking the other Moskva. So yeah, I cammed in, taking a look, firing my ray gun. Oh, he's looking back at me, so I need to start angling. So here I should already be accelerating. I make a bit of a mistake here, and I greed out to shoot him. Because if he decides to shoot at me, I'm actually giving him full broadside because of the American bounce angles. So I should be accelerating and pulling my nose this way, like that. Got a nice citadel on him before he left. Alright, what else is going on the map? So in the meantime, my team took C. We know there's a GD here. These other BBs haven't really pushed up. So even though I'm giving them side from this angle, they're pretty unlikely to shoot me. In fact, at this range, I'm actually angled because of how far back away from the cap I've pushed. Now I'm slowly reversing back in because I have nothing to shoot at. Nothing to shoot at. Shift back into my camera. What am I looking at? Nope, glancing at the Stalingrad. The Stalingrad's in range. Not really too interested in him. Just preserving my angle. Oh, Monty pops up. And I'm nice and angled against the Monty for sure. Yes, he can hit my 25mm armored stern here, but it's still pretty angled, so you might get some pen damage, probably no citadels. Set a fire, nice and easy. Now this guy's on my broadside again, but there's an island in between, so this way I can keep reversing back to get into range for the Montana, and all I have to do is, if I free cam to here, all I have to do is watch this angle. As long as this mountain is between me and the Stalingrad on the minimap, I can hold this angle for as long as I want. What about here? If we look here, the Stalingrad also behind cover. So I'm popping my radar now, hoping to catch the Shima on this corner, but I'm not catching him, so I know he's immediately in the top corner, or at the very edge here, one of the two. So I ping it for my team, but I'm still shelling the Montana because I still can't see him. Still can't see him. Oh, he's spotted. Now hopefully my team will reset him. Ping him for my team, as you can see here. I need my team to reset, or at least force him out of the cap. Okay, ping back to my camera. What's happening? I'm shooting the Stalingrad, who's reversed out. Now the Stalingrad is no longer behind cover, so I need to be watching. In this case, I should already be pulling ahead, again turning away from the Stalingrad in this manner, turning to the left side. Oh, he exchanges fire back with me. I'm not angled at all, remember. Oh, yep, so first time I'm not angled against any AP, I take 20,000 damage, immediate punish. He's firing his rear gun, but now I noticed. I got shot at and noticed that I'm fucking up, so I'm angling. Oh, and by the time they hits me, 1 penetration for 3k, but not much else. So you gotta, even though you're open water and still pretty static, as the Montana is with its playstyle, I'm not actually fully static, right? I'm moving quote-unquote back and forth between these few squares in the G and H line at 6 and 7, or 7 and 8 rather, but not all the time. So yeah, I reposition, I slow down. What am I looking at? I'm looking at the Monty still. Yeah, look, going for my last few ranging shots, he's at the edge of my range because I don't have the legendary module. And now again, nothing is in range for me. So, nothing is in range. But this Montana, as he reaches out further and further to the side, is going to become more and more of a risk, right? Because if he heads all the way to here, or any kind of long-range cruiser over here, they're shooting right into my side, right? The only thing protecting me right now, let me shift back into free cam, is this island. So this island is directly protecting my side, but anything behind it and anything in front of it that's here and here on the minimap, such as that FDG over there, can shoot me, so they're a threat. Fortunately for me, the FDG is not a threat in this case, because his range is too short. So I can stay here. But if that were a different kind of battleship, I would have to angle. So here, let's see what I'm looking at. So I took a pot shot at the Izimo for a couple of times, and now the Moskva popped out from his island position here, so I'm going to punish. He's giving me side, switch targets. Pay attention to these guys. I'm still angled against them in this position. Look at the vector of my ship versus the vector of them. They'll be bouncing off my side armor here. Turning away to present still enough angle there, but also angle against Moskva because he's returning fire. HE in this case, but if that was AP and I didn't angle, could have eaten a big chunk of damage there. So he's turning, so I'm hoping that he turns all the way into my AP. Only end up getting 1 over penetration, but that's fine. He's going HE and holding his angle. So while I was doing that, I heard some shells bounce off my armor. So, who are those? Whose are those? Well, don't know. Keep shelling. Zoom out after the shell hits. Still being targeted by 1. Briefly targeted. Not really sure what's going on, but I'm pretty angled against all the things I can see other than the FGG. But the FGG is crawling back behind cover. Angled against this guy and this guy. Oh, and look, something popped up. So there's a Zhao over here on the far flank. And so the weakness of the open water is that you don't have any hard cover to actually protect your flanks. The only thing protecting your flanks is your own angling and using your armor. So this is going to come back later, but just keep in mind that there is a Zhao in the open water. When I was playing this game, just before this, I wasn't paying attention, but the fact that he's on my flank will come back later, and we'll talk about it when it becomes relevant. In the meantime, we're just still holding the open water position. At any point, we could reverse a little more to raid our B or C if we really needed to, but we're just controlling this area. These guys can't push because I have my teammates here, and I'm angled against them anyway, so there's no point in them shooting me. So all I have to really do is pay attention to these guys over here and these guys over here. Still shooting, still shooting. Shelling the Izumo as he slowly pushes in with HE. Still a nice, safe position. I'm angled against everyone. I'm adjusting now as these guys push in. So I'm starting to bias these guys. So now I'm actually showing side against these guys. If you let me snap into free cam. So I'm showing side to these guys over here. Except, what do you know? There's an island here, right? So I'm using this island now as my armor, but I'm not right beside it, because if I was right beside it, I would be limiting my firing angles, right? I'm still open water, but the island is still acting as quote-unquote armor for me on the side flank here. So I'm still shelling the Izumo, but my guns are starting to shift. I'm really only using my rear gun. I want to switch my gun bias over, because I kind of want to reposition here, given the positioning. Because as these guys push in, if I'd stayed vectored this way, so this way, with my butt here and my nose here, if I'd stayed vectored this way, as these guys pushed in over here, on this side, I'd be giving them side. But now I'm angled against them, right? Shells coming in are coming in at 45 and bouncing off the 50mm upper belt plating and cheek plating. Oh, I'm getting shelled from that side. I am giving broadside to this side, but fortunately for me, that whatever shell that was sailed over me. It might have actually been for this Yami over here, I'm not sure. Shift back into my cam, I'm still shelling that Izumo. Giving good angle to the FDG over there. So even if he shoots at me, which I believe he should be, he's not going to do very much to me. My guns are still pointed at the Izumo over there. Okay, now they're shifting. Oh, ow, 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 ow. Look at that. What was that? 20k AP. Where's the AP coming from? It's coming from the Zao that was on my flank that I didn't track. So this flanking Zao now is an immediate problem. I'm in the open water, I'm exposed, I'm giving him side. Take another, what was that, like 15,000 I think? Immediately full speed. Shift back into my view. Obviously he has my attention now. So I need to angle against this guy, this guy, this guy. Because this guy over here is a Moskva, so relevant angling as well. So I'm covered on this side, so I need to pull immediately away towards the map border. Trading with the Moskva, or sorry, with the Zao. Trading, but yeah, I had to immediately pull away. Because the Moskva had so much HP, I survived that Zao AP. He only did about 40,000 to me. Maybe a little less actually, something like 30,000. But if I'd stayed any longer in that position, I would have died. I'm also lucky that its first salvo didn't chunk me a little harder. But yeah, so I'm angling against the Zao because he's the one paying attention to me, but as I'm pulling into here, notice that I was giving these two battleships over here on the horizon broadside. So I could, if this was a clan war situation, and there was a BB there and a BB there, a BB there and Zao there, I'd have to angle much more carefully. But this way, I kind of mostly maximized my angle. I was lucky here that the Izumo and FDG were otherwise occupied because they definitely could have punished me, but I have to respond to the Zao. So I respond to the Zao. He falls back into concealment because I did chunk him back a little bit with my AP and HE, as you saw there. Some banter in the chat. So I'm pulling away. I'm angled to the FDG now because I've pulled enough distance between myself and him, maintaining that triangle, right? So my ship angled against any ship on one side and any ship on the other, and anyone directly behind me, obviously, as long as it's not a BB, I'm angled. So maintaining the triangle by pulling distance. So as these guys pushing in to contest B, build, or try to keep coming, I need to keep pushing forward to maintain my angle. Because if I get sloppy and let them catch up to me, they'll pull alongside me and my nice angle will no longer be a nice angle. It'll be giving broadside. So just harassing the people trying to get into our cap here that I can. I've pulled forward to the point where I can't really harass the FTG anymore, so I'm now shooting at the Moskva sometimes. Oh, he's pushing out now though. So I'm maintaining my fire on the FTG. Maintaining fire. But where's the Zao? The Zao is still missing. I need to be cognizant of the Zao. push forward a little bit more. Because basically, the Zhao's play is to keep creeping up along the border to get onto my flank. So as long as I keep creeping forward towards the eastern map border, I keep buying myself time. I'm also pulling away from the Moskva and the Montana over here. So I need to finish the FDG, mainly because there's nothing else I can shoot at. Go back into free camp here. The only other target in range is the Izumo, and he's in cover for me. And yeah, he's so low, like, we should finish him anyway. I got a fire, and I know he damage controlled, so I'm really trying to finish him off here. And fortunately, my Yamato finishes him. So now I'm taking shell fire from the Moskva over there in cover. So I'm looking at him, but I'm also adjusting my angle. I want to, taking penetration damage in the 25mm plating butt over here from the Montana. So no, that's too close, too close. I can't maintain my angle here. So there's actually still a rock between me and the Izumo right now. So as I pull forward, still protecting my broadside, just checking to see A, if I can shoot him, and B, if he can shoot me. No, he can't. Alright, look away. I got set on fire. I'm going to pop my heal now because I still have another charge waiting in advance, and just pop my damage control. Because one, because of the legendary captain, but two, because I just don't want to take that burn damage. There, the Montana chunked me for 12,000. That was because all the shells landed into my rear plating because I wasn't angled enough against him. I was basically presenting my stern straight on to him, so it's able to chunk me for penetration damage. So now, yep. So you saw me switch over, right? So as I was pulling ahead, I was thinking about the Zhao. And yeah, if he'd been pushing forward with me, he would have been in about the position to start attacking me again now. So I switched my guns already, and already started pulling away, and angled just enough to bounce his Zhao AP. So now I have to trade off with him here, because as he pushes forward, he's going to get more and more onto my side. I can maintain my angling for now, but eventually, if he pushes all the way up into here, to angle against him, I'll have to get broadside to this Moskva and that Montana, which is unacceptable. So I have to kill the Zhao. I don't have any choice. So if we free cam here, you'll see here, even though I'm engaging the Zhao with most of my rifles, I'm still angled to the Montana here. So the Montana's shooting here, but by the time they arrive, the shells are bouncing at a 30-ish degree angle, hopefully into my plate armor in the side. Let's see how these shells bounce. So they splattered here, but you saw the angle they're coming in from, right? So if they had hit my side, as long as they didn't hit the nose here, or the butt here, I would have angled. Repair the fire from the Zhao immediately, switch back to my cam. I'm alternating between HE and AP because he is angling. This guy is definitely not that stupid of a player. But the thing with the Zhao is that it has pretty horrid gun angles. So I'm waiting. Oh, so it's still on HE here. I got a bit tricked. I'm lucky that I managed to survive to my heal. I'm almost dead, but he's just giving me the adrenaline rush boost. This time I'm waiting for the turn because he needs to turn to expose all 4 guns. He's greeding out for the damage. And this time I get the punish. So now I got the punish. That time I didn't aim at waterline, if you saw. I don't know if you saw, but I aimed kind of higher, and that's to get the AP shells into the superstructure. I stayed with AP, so there was no time to switch to HE. So I had to stay with my AP and aim higher for the superstructure and not just go for waterline, because he was definitely going to be angled. And if he angled and he survived, he was going to kill me. Or there was a very strong chance that he killed me. So now I've dispatched him. So now I can just hide. But he was the one spotting me here. I had been trying to disengage for a while here, but the reason why I knew he was getting close was that he popped into my detection range of 14.1. At the edge of my detection range, that was when I started turning for him and turning my guns for him and realized that, oh, I need to pull ahead. Can't worry about the guys in the middle anymore because the Zhao has again gotten on my flank. So you need to be paying attention to your detection and paying attention to the minimap at all times. Like, I know this is a replay class, so it's a lot easier, but even during the game when I was actually actively playing and not just commentating over my gameplay, as I'm playing the game, this minimap is always the center of my attention. If I'm not shooting at something or directly judging angle on the screen, I'm judging angles using the minimap and looking at position using the minimap. So this is your most important tool. The only reason I survived this game and didn't die to that Zhao was because I was watching the minimap after the first time he surprised me. The first time he surprised me and chunked me for 30,000 damage was not because I was in a position where I couldn't do anything to avoid him punishing me. The first time I got punished was because I didn't pay attention to the fact that he was last spotted over here, and he trekked all the way around here onto the flank as the Zhao is meant to do, as a flanking lurker, and got onto my side and punished me when I was holding this open water position. That open water position, in and of itself, is not a poor position. You can control one flank with this rock and control another flank from this rock without being beside that rock. The reason I got punished was because I didn't pay attention to my minimap and the position of the enemy Zhao. But yeah, if you look now, 15 seconds left in the match, I've done a crap ton of damage in the open water, basically anchored down B cap for half the game until eventually my team losing the A side forced me to push into C with the rest of my teammates who are kind of just sitting there for a while, and almost 2 million potential damage. And yeah,